Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Swedish ebook before it's gone.
Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. Hej, jag heter Elin. Trevligt att träffas. Hi, I'm Elin. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Swedish expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Swedish. There are only 2 sentences you need. Hej, jag heter Elin. Trevligt att träffas. Hi, I'm Elin. Nice to meet you. Hej, jag heter Elin. Trevligt att träffas. Start by saying, hej, jag heter. Then say your name. Hej, jag heter Elin. Finally say, trevligt att träffas. Hej, jag heter Elin. Trevligt att träffas. And now let's see the same sentence in a different format. Hallå, Elin. Trevligt att träffas. Hello, Elin. Nice to meet you. Hallå, Elin. Trevligt att träffas. So, what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these together. Hey has been substituted with an alternative greeting, hallå, Swedish for hello. Jag heter Elin has been shortened to just Elin. In this sentence, it's implied that I am introducing myself as Elin. In a formal setting, you would say your full name. One more time. One way to introduce yourself in Swedish is hej, jag heter Elin. Trevligt att träffas. An alternative way to introduce yourself is hallå, Elin. Trevligt att träffas. Now it's time for Elin's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands in Sweden. It's more common to use hej, jag heter Elin. Trevligt att träffas when you introduce yourself once, in front of a group of people or one single person. If you greet several people individually, you use the short phrase hej, Elin. Trevligt att träffas. Do you know how to say thank you in Swedish? You'll learn how to say this and many other words in the next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. Tack, vi ses då! See you then! Hej, jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Swedish. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Är ni redo? Are you ready? Så låt oss börja. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. So let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Tack. Tack. Tack means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add så mycket at the end. Tack så mycket. Tack så mycket. Så mycket literally means so much. So tack så mycket, it's like saying thank you so much. During the last lesson, we didn't mention anything about formality in speech in Swedish. However, there are some subtle differences in how you will be perceived by others. Tack is a casual way to thank someone. Tack så mycket expresses more gratitude and is thus more formal. A longer and more formal phrase which expresses a lot of gratitude will be tack så mycket, jättesnällt. Tack så mycket, jättesnällt. Jättesnällt means really kind. It is very common to put jätte in front of adjectives to amplify their meaning. But how do you respond to these thanks? It's easy. There are basically 2 different ways to do it. The first is varsågod. Varsågod. Varsågod means you are welcome. You use this expression after someone has thanked you for a favor or for something given to them. The other way to say you are welcome is the expression ingen fara. Ingen fara. Literally, this phrase means no problem or it's okay, and it's used when someone has thanked you for your help or for a favor. So, when someone says tack to you, you can simply reply with varsågod or ingen fara, depending on what they thanked you for. Now it's time for Elin's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use tack or tack så mycket, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Tack can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. Do you know what ses means? In our next lesson, you'll learn this and other greetings in Swedish. See you in the next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. Tack! Vi ses nästa gång! Hej! Jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying tack. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Sweden. Är ni redo? Are you ready? Så låt oss börja. So let's start. The most commonly used informal greeting is hej. Hej. Hej means hi. We use it when we meet people. We can use this greeting with anyone. Yet, it isn't the only way to greet someone. We also have hallå. Hallå, which means hello. And more time-specific greetings like god dag. God dag. Literally, god dag means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use god dag only during the daytime, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say god kväll. God kväll. Kväll is Swedish for evening. So god kväll means good evening. Finally, in the morning we say god morgon. God morgon. This means good morning. However, instead of god dag and god kväll, it's much more common to just use hej. God morgon, on the other hand, is still the most common phrase to use in the morning. When saying goodbye, we say hej då. Hej då. When partying for a long time, we often add ha det bra. Ha det bra, which means be well. Finally, in Swedish, we have an expression meaning see you soon that can be considered both formal and informal. Vi ses. Vi ses. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Swedish. Let's review them all again. When meeting friends or someone we don't know, hej. There also is hallå. In the morning, god morgon. During the day, god dag. And in the evening, god kväll. When leaving, we say hej då. When leaving but want to imply see you soon, vi ses. To which we sometimes add ha det bra or be well. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Elin's insights. In formal situations, Swedish people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. However, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we hug. Swedish people are generally shy and might not take the initiative to hug, but don't be afraid to do it, it's always appreciated. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase talar du engelska? Do you already know it? I'll be waiting to talk about it with you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. På återseende! Hej! Jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Swedish. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, This phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Swedish, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the most common way to say it. Talar du engelska? Talar du engelska? Swedish is a pretty straightforward language. We conjugate verbs based on time, which means we have past, present, and infinitive. The question, talar du engelska, translates as, are you speaking English? As in English, speaking is the present tense, talar. The second word in the sentence, du, simply means you. And you probably recognize engelska to be English. Talar du engelska? Like in English, there are a whole bunch of ways to ask this question. Let's see another one. It literally means, do you know English? Kan du tala engelska? Kan du tala engelska? When asking this question to someone you don't know, begin by saying ursäkta mig or excuse me. Ursäkta mig, kan du tala engelska? Ursäkta mig, kan du tala engelska? As you might have noticed, the verb tala is slightly different than talar. Remember, the verb changes depending on the time it is in. We are now talking about the infinitive since it is coupled with kan, which means can. The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ja, yes. Ja. Lite, a little. Lite. Nej, jag talar inte engelska. No, I don't speak English. Nej, jag talar inte engelska. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to put inte after the verb talar. Inte means not. Jag talar inte engelska literally translates into I speak not English. Now it's time for Elin's insights. For those of you who are not just English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Swedish people study other European languages at school, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute engelska with italienska for Italian, franska for French, spanska for Spanish, tyska for German. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression ursäkta mig. But did you know that this could also be used as an apology? In the next lesson, we will learn this and other ways to apologize in Swedish. I'll see you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. På återseende! Hej, jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase ursäkta mig, kan du tala engelska? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word ursäkta mig, which means excuse me in Swedish. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use ursäkta mig and other words when apologizing in Swedish. We use ursäkta mig in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, ursäkta mig, en kaffe tack. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. Ursäkta mig, var är toaletten? Excuse me, where is the toilet? The common way to say excuse me is ursäkta mig. Ursäkta mig. Just like ursäkta mig, we can use förlåt when apologizing for an action. Förlåt means I'm sorry. Förlåt. You can also hear some Swedes say sorry, which is a loan word from English, and it's often used as a quick apology amongst friends. Both of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use the word förlåt. The phrase förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det means I'm really sorry about that. This can be used in both formal and informal situations. Förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det. First we have the familiar förlåt. Next we insert a Swedish pronoun for I, jag. Then är, which means am. Followed by ledsen, which means sad. Again, you can see the use of the word jätte in front of an adjective, just like in lesson 2. Finally, we have the phrase för det, meaning about that. Förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det. Now it's time for Elin's insights. In Sweden, if you accidentally bump into someone, you might not get any response. But to be polite, we either say ursäkta mig or förlåt. You can also use these phrases when you want to say, sorry, can you repeat what you just said? Are you able to count in Swedish? In the next lesson, we learn the numbers in Swedish from 1 to 10. I'll be waiting for you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. Vi ses nästa gång! Hej! Jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned some words used when apologizing in Swedish, including ursäkta and förlåt. In this lesson, we're going to learn numbers in Swedish. Yes, numbers! Nummer! From 1 to 10. And you are going to learn them in only 3 minutes. 3 minuter. Are you ready? Let's start. 1. 1. 2. 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. Okay, now repeat after me. I say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Great job! What is before 1? Do you know? It's 0, the number 0. 0. You don't have any more excuses. Now you can give your friends your cell phone number in Swedish. Let's try together. We'll use the phrase mitt nummer är, which means my number is. Mitt nummer är. Mitt nummer är 221358774. Can you read it by yourself? Två, två, 1, 3, 5, 8, 7, 4. Perfect! Now it's time for Elin's insights. Sometimes in Swedish lunch restaurants, you get a number after ordering your food. When your food is ready, they will call your number. Nummer 1, nummer 2, and so on. Learn your numbers well so you can be ready. Do you know the Swedish word for 100? Here's a hint. It's very similar to the English word. In the next lesson, we're going to learn the numbers from 11 to 100 in Swedish. Your task is now to practice the numbers we studied in this lesson, from 1 to 10. Vi ses nästa gång! Hej, jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned the numbers from 1 to 10. Have you forgotten? Here I'll tell you again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now let's continue from 11. 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19. And finally we have 20, 20. Okay, now repeat after me. I say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These numbers may seem harder to remember, but you really just have to remember that from 13 and up to 19, you just put ton at the end. The number in front is simply 3 to 9 or a slight variation of it. 11, 12, and 20 needs to be memorized since they don't follow any formula. Let's now stop at 20. Counting to 100 is super easy. Now I will give you the tens. 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90, 100, 100. While you have to memorize a few of these numbers, there are a couple of tricks that will make memorizing them very easy. Notice that all the numbers except 100 ends in T, and the number in front is simply 3 to 9 or a slight variation on it. For example, 30. 30. It's composed of 3 and T. 30. 80. 80. It's composed of 8, a variation of 8, and T. 80. As for 100, it sounds a lot like the English 100 and shouldn't be that hard to remember. The last thing to learn in this lesson is how to form compound numbers above 20. This is also super easy. Take the tens and simply add the numbers you learned in the previous lesson. Let's try it out. How would you say 56 in Swedish? Let's take it step by step. 50 is 50, and then add 6, 6. 56. It's done! Isn't that easy? Let's make another number. For instance, 98. Take 90, 90, and add 8, 8, 98. Now it's time for Elin's insights. To count higher than 100 will be no problem at all. Just take the 100, 100, and add whatever compound number after that. For example, 135, 135, 135. After only 2 lessons, you are now able to count to 199 in Swedish. In the next lesson, we're going to put your number knowledge to use. Do you have all the skills you need to go shopping in Sweden? If not, I'll be waiting for you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter. Ses nästa gång! jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned how to count in Swedish. I hope you spent some time practicing the numbers, because they will come in handy in this lesson. We're going to learn how to go shopping in Sweden. Before we go, you need to know how to say, how much is it? Hur mycket kostar det? Hur mycket kostar det? Are you ready to go shopping in Sweden? Let's go! When you see something you like and want to ask the shop clerk how much it costs, the first thing to say is ursäkta. Do you remember what that means? That's right, excuse me. Ursäkta, hur mycket kostar den? Ursäkta, hur mycket kostar den? Now in Swedish, if you're asking about the price of an object, you put either den or det at the end of the sentence, depending on the object you are asking about. There is no rule for when to use den or det. You just have to learn word by word. However, don't worry, Swedes will understand perfectly even if you use the wrong one. Ursäkta, hur mycket kostar det? Ursäkta, hur mycket kostar det? Except for den and det, there's one more pronoun you can use. When pointing at pairs or a bundle of something, you change the pronoun to dom. Ursäkta, hur mycket kostar de? Excuse me, how much do these cost? Ursäkta, hur mycket kostar de? At this point, the shop clerk can answer by saying den kostar, det kostar, or det kostar. For example, den kostar 55 kronor. Det kostar 55 kronor. Or det kostar 55 kronor. Note that the word dom turned into det when put in front of the object. What number is 55? I'm not telling you. Okay, it's 55. It cost 55 kronor. Now it's time for Elin's insights. The pronoun you will use most often is det, because not only is it used to ask prices of objects, but also services, like getting a haircut. So get used to asking, hur mycket kostar det? Hur mycket kostar det? At this point, can you count kronor in Swedish? We're going to learn how to do this and much more in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. Ses nästa gång!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Swedish ebook before it's gone.